are some of the things that you suggest, things that you think that people in organizations really want to help that culture shift? What can they do to help men in general, especially white men, on their journey?
Yeah, I love that question. I think one thing we can do is to acknowledge white masculinity. Because one of the things that goes on with this, I was trained not to see color, is that as white people, I'll speak for myself, I have had the privilege of never having to think about being white. I didn't even know I was white until I was 26, right? Now, if you had met me on the street, it would have been obvious to you, like, duh, you're white. Why did I not know that? Not because I'm ignorant and stupid. I didn't know that because I had the privilege of mostly living with and being around white people. And as an insider in most situations, my whiteness is the majority. So I don't have to think about it. So I think one thing we can do with white men is to acknowledge whiteness and acknowledge white masculinity. There is something called white male culture, which is not my word. It's the word of other researchers that came before who have said that Northern European culture, which migrated here to the US, has shaped everything about our capitalist system and how we do business. So let's understand, what is white male culture? Let's understand the characteristics, and then let's try to normalize it. It's okay to talk about it. And the second thing that I think is related to that, Joe, is let's stop shaming people by calling people racist when they say something stupid that is racist, because I really do believe we are all racist. We all grew up in a racist society. And so where I am racist, I can own saying something that's stupid or wrong or racist, and I can correct, and I can do better next time. And I think one of the things that has happened, and I think it makes it really hard on white men, and I see this play out all the time, is in diversity, equity, and inclusion conversations, white men just go dark. They don't see themselves in the conversation. They know it's not politically correct to say what they're thinking. So they say nothing because they don't want to be called out as stupid or called a racist or called sexist. So they say nothing, which to me is the most toxic thing of all. If someone doesn't understand, if I don't understand the impact of my own identity in my partnerships, if I'm not willing to look at that, then I need colleagues who care about me to stand with me with care and with compassion, not with shame. Shame is never a healthy tool when it comes to diversity, equity, inclusion, which is making someone feel unworthy. You're unworthy, Mo, because you used a racist word. You're unworthy, Joe, because you noticed someone's color or you said something sexist. You're unworthy. That doesn't help. I can say to you, Joe, you are worthy, and something you just said really offended me. And I guess the third thing I would say is I love it when men talk to men about their diversity and inclusion journey, when they get brave and they talk to other men. I remember in the Me Too movement, when we had the Kavanaugh hearings and things, my son, who was, at that time he must have been 21, 22, he's living in Canada, and he had posted something on social of himself walking down the street. It was like a parade, a protest parade or something. And he had on high heels, red high heels like this. And I called him, I said, oh, you were part of the protest around the Me Too movement. What's that like? And he said, I'm having really rigorous, interesting conversation with my girlfriend and a lot of my female friends, but I can't get my white male friends to talk to me about what the Me Too movement is like for them. And he said, I'm really frustrated. And I thought, gosh, what a wonderful mindset. And I said, keep being curious, because what he wanted to talk about with other men was, boy, what's it like to be us when so many of our female friends, colleagues, sisters, and mothers have had sexual harassment happen to them? What is it like to be me when that happens? And what it was like for him was, it was devastating. It was sad. It was hard. He felt embarrassed. He felt ashamed. Even though he hadn't done those things, he still felt. And when he was able to talk to other men about that, it created connection, and it fortified him, I think, probably to have good conversations with allies, women that he worked with. And so I think men working with each other, challenging each other, supporting each other, takes the story in a different direction too. And it's not that they don't also work with people of color and white women and women of color. That's not, of course, they partner with us too, but it's also okay for men to do some of their work with men, just like women do some of their work with women.
Yep. That makes perfect sense.